Oh, good morning. I don't know if this is going to work out because I don't know if people are actually going to watch me on here, but I wanted to test this out today and just kind of see what this live shenanigan thing is about. I've let the dogs in and out like 20 times. I'm running late this morning. This morning as in it's almost 2 o'clock. It is 2 o'clock, I think, in the afternoon. But I'm fixing breakfast, and I just kind of wanted to give everybody an update on what I'm doing with my YouTube channel. I'm gonna keep I'm so hungry. I hope I'm doing this right. Okay. I think I have this a little bit too hot. Obviously, I suck at cooking in a hurry. I don't know how I see like comments or anything on this either, but let me see. Oh, okay. Cool, Jeffrey. I literally am up so freaking late in the day. Like, I woke up to go to the gym this morning at like 6:30 and fell back asleep and ended up waking up at 1:30 in the afternoon. I don't know why. I think I'm just really exhausted because I've been waking up at 5:30 to go to the gym like every single day. So, but we are making eggs and pancakes, so life should be so much better. I'm gonna have to sit down for a sec so I can get these off of the pan. All right. Thank God the food's done. I'm starving. I think you're the only person watching. I went to bed at 1 a.m. What time did I go? I guess I went to bed at probably like 3? No. 3. Okay, I have my phone set on military time. This is how out of it I am. I have my phone set on military time just so that I don't get out of touch with military time, because basically when my phone was on regular human being time, I would be like, man, 2200, like what is that? Like I'd have to be, oh, let me calculate this in my head like an idiot. And basically I set my phone back to military time so that I don't have that issue. But I went to bed at 2300, not 3 o'clock in the morning. But I know I went to bed at 2300 because I was like, dang, this is late for me. Like super late. But I gotta get butter. I have to go grocery shopping super bad. My refrigerator is empty because I really try to eat as healthy as humanly possible. And when you try to eat healthy, you tend to not have preserved food in your home. And I have to throw stuff away if I'm in training. So right now I'm in training for retaking. Okay, And we're back. So it's not mandatory for you to do that at all. You can do that however you want to do that. I just think personally that it helps a lot. It helps to keep, especially as a National Guard soldier, you're only doing your drill weekends and whatnot, your 1 weekend a month. So it helps a lot for you to be able to remember military time, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And I understand, like, military time really isn't that hard. You just, like, add 12 to it. But I freaking, like, when I'm out of the zone, like, sometimes you don't have drill weekend for, like, 5 weeks, sometimes 6. Like, that's a long time. So then when I go to drill, I'll realize, like, it takes me the whole first day to get back in the mindset of, like, oh, yeah, I'm in the Army. Like, stop being there's a certain way that you shouldn't be, like, I would go to drill weekend and just totally forget my bearing, I guess. Like, I would forget to call people by their last name. And I would be like, oh, hey, Ron, like, how are you? And then I'd be like, oh, crap, like, you're a staff sergeant and I'm a sergeant, so I shouldn't be calling you by your first name. Like, in the National Guard, at least here, a lot of us call each other by our first name. Oh, thank you. I got this shirt from Rue 21 for like $4 because I'm super cheap. And when you wear an Army uniform all the time, you like don't spend money on regular clothes ever. But I work full time for the Guard now, so that's another reason why I set my clock to military time. And I also don't call people by their first name. Okay, moment of truth for these pancakes. Oh, look at my dog. Are you joining us? My other dog's down here too. Yeah, I don't have time to like go to the store. Like, okay, I went to Nike, which if you guys watched the videos on my channel, I did that Nike like haul, but I actually went to a outlet mall for that. And let me see it. The comments are disappearing too fast. I can't see them. Chat viewing options. Show live chat messages. I don't know how I missed that. I don't understand how people are going through and like reading the messages. But yeah, I went to a Nike outlet for almost all of those clothes, and I'm never shopping at a regular store again, because why would I go spend $70 on Nike clothes when I can go to the Nike store and get my 10% military discount on top of everything being like 30 and 40% off? Like, I bought all of those Nike clothes, 2 pairs of sweatpants, like, that usually would be $200 right there. And I bought those 2 pairs of sweatpants for like $50 for both of them together. So my cheap self will be going there. You guys, these pancakes are fire, but it might just be because I'm really hungry. So I want to know what you guys prefer watching on my channel, because I try to just share every aspect of my life, but I know that that's probably not like a feasible thing for me to do on my channel. I think it's okay to like trickle stuff in every once in a while, but I feel like I have so much knowledge about the military, especially like the National Guard, and I don't feel like many people talk about the National Guard on YouTube. I mean, there's a few YouTubers that I watch that are National Guard. There's actually only, okay, I'm not gonna lie, there's one girl that I watched that's National Guard, and I'm pretty sure she's getting out, but like, she's the only other YouTuber that I see that posts stuff specific to the National Guard. And a lot of the stuff that I would post would also go for the regular Army and maybe other branches as well. But I do think that there's some stuff to the National Guard that's just National Guard specific. So I don't know if I should literally just convert my whole channel to being military related, and like I would do military and fitness, because I love fitness, and like I'm about to be doing summer shredding on my channel and I want to share that. Like, obviously military and fitness goes hand in hand. So okay. So Jeffrey asked, what's the meanest thing that I've ever heard a drill sergeant say? Honestly, are you guys going to be offended if I like curse? I curse on my channel, so if this offends you, I'm sorry. They will literally sit there and call people like effing retarded. Like, they'll literally say that. Like, I'm not going to use it in the context of how they say it, but they'll literally sit there and tell you to your face like that, you're stupid. And, or they'll be like, did your mom drop you on your head? Like, and the crazy thing is like, I've heard that basic training isn't like that anymore. Like, I've heard that they can get in really big trouble, because now they have like ACE cards, which I don't know if y'all know what those are, but they just don't want people out here like trying to hurt themselves or... Okay, good. Because I'm like, I've heard from some people that it's totally different now. I was also talking to someone last night that told me that that basically I had it easy at my basic training because I said we didn't do PT all the time. We would wake up early AF, and we always had to do a ruck march. Like, you literally start out at like a 3-mile ruck. So I was like super fit anyways, because I played every sport in high school. I just was fit. So when I went to basic training, it was not a struggle for me. Like, I wrote a letter back to my mom saying that I was shocked that the physical training was not more difficult, because everyone else was like dying and sore and like crying because they were sore. And I was like, I'm not sore, like, at all. I didn't start to be sore until we started doing like 5 and 6 mile rucks. And then I was like, holy shit, this is extreme. But then I'm like, well, it was also hot, like super hot. I was at Fort Jackson, and you would take a shower, get out of the shower, put your uniform on, and have sweat all the way through it. So I wasn't used to that weather, and I like eventually got over it. But when we did that like final 12-mile ruck march, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I'm about to die. Like, I'm about to die, and I don't know what to do. But then I was like, okay, suck it up. Like, we're at the end. Like, stop being this way. Sorry, my dog is scratching the floor to lay down. I don't know why he does that, but yeah, they say mean stuff at basic training, but you just gotta be like thick-skinned. Like, it ain't that deep, and you ain't ever gonna see them again. And if you do see them again, it's not that they don't actually like you. A lot of the times I realized the drill sergeants that were like kind of picking on specific people really liked those people. So, okay, the meanest thing that ever got said to me, when I went to basic, it was 2011. So I was like, I think I just had turned 20. Maybe? I'm not going to do the math for this. But I had my birthday while I was there. Our like 12-mile ruck was on my birthday. And I remember being like, okay, nobody tell anyone that it's my birthday, because I knew if the drill sergeants like found out that they would like cause a fuss about it. And we were all at the PX before we left, and this one drill sergeant would just always pick on me, like all the time. This drill sergeant, okay, this is another like mean thing. This drill sergeant got in trouble because he came into our bay one night and was like, he would always say like super racist jokes, but like no one would really say anything about it because we didn't, you're scared. So we didn't know what was right and what was wrong. Like, we didn't know. In my head, I was like, well, they're drill sergeant, like they can say whatever they want. I had never been in an environment where people talked that way. So I just assumed that it was normal, which now I know I'm like, okay, not normal. There's some things that you should probably tell somebody if it's wrong. But when he would say this stuff, I would always tell everybody, I'm like, how much do you want to bet like his wife is black? Like, how much do you want to bet? So he thinks that the things that he's saying are okay, and they're not. Like, one time he came over the intercom in our bay and was like, I'm sitting here watching the BET Awards, and I was like, okay, your wife's totally black. Like, what? You're trying to make it obvious that you feel like you have some connection to this culture, but it doesn't make what you're doing right. And even if you were black, it doesn't make what you're doing right. So he comes into our bay one night to like smoke us and asked us all to get toe to line, had nothing to say except for he walked by like my best friend and was like, wow, some of y'all look like nappy-headed hoes. And we were just like, what the fuck is going, like, you cannot say stuff like that. Like, what the hell? And it offended my best friend at Basics so bad that the next day our female drill sergeant was black, and she just like, we pulled her to the side and like said something. I was like the battle buddy. I didn't say anything, but she reported it to him. And there was stuff that he would say just to me. And I like was thick-skinned about it and didn't say anything, but we would talk about it as females, like in the shower and stuff. And my best friend was always like, you need to report it. So when she reported that incident, she said that he like singles me out all the time and says stuff that's super inappropriate to me. So of course the drill sergeant like asked me, and I was like, damn, I did not want to like be a problem. Like, I didn't want anything to happen. But the first thing that he ever really said to me was on my birthday. He was like, you're only 20? And I was like, yes, drill sergeant. And I obviously, like, we were at parade rest, like in line waiting to pay. And he was like, damn, you look old. I thought you were like in your 40s. And in my head, I was just kind of like, would I even be allowed to be here if I was that old? Second of all, I ain't even old enough to drink. Third of all, when I deployed, people really thought that I was like 16 years old because melanin, baby. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm out here looking young AF. And people like notice it. Like, I get carded all the time. Like, I don't look old. So I think in his head, like, he knew that I wasn't ugly. And like, he just was trying to like be funny. Like, every drill sergeant picks like that one person that they pick on all the time. Sometimes it's more than one, but that's the type of stuff that I don't know if they still do that, because I mean, they could seriously jeopardize their career if they did, because we live in an army now that they got ACE cards and stuff, and like, you can complain about anything and it's taken super serious. And I'm like appreciative for that. I am. But at the same time, I do feel that sometimes it hinders soldiers. For instance, at drill weekend, this female would come to drill weekend all the time, and she had her hair, in my opinion, totally out of the regs. Well, AR 670-1 basically says that your hairstyle at the end of the day cannot be faddish. It can't. Do you know how bad I want to dye my hair blonde? Which it's like, I can do that. Like, AR 670-1 says that I can do that. But is blonde a natural hair color for me? If like some other lighter skinned person dyed their hair blonde, it probably wouldn't be seen as an issue. And I know in the National Guard it wouldn't be seen as an issue. They really wouldn't care. But I don't do it because I know if I was in charge of that soldier, I would be like, your hair is super faddish. Like, you need to do something about it, because I know you weren't born with blonde hair. So I just try to like never give people the opportunity to say something about me, or to say something to me about not being in the regulations, because like what type of NCO would I be if I was like living life on the edge and pushing every regulation as far as I could? I just don't think that that's appropriate, whether you're National Guard or not. But yeah, there's like, I don't say stuff sometimes, and sometimes I want to, but there was this girl, her hair was like, it's shaven all around the sides, and then her hair's super tight, like kinky curls. So she has it shaved into like this, it's basically an afro, but it goes super high, like it's off the head, like this far. When she wears her PC is obviously way the fuck up here and like pointed down. And I'm like, why has nobody said anything to you? I went and said something to her NCOIC because she's not in my unit or anything. And in the National Guard, it's kind of like stepping on people's toes. Like if I go pop off at some soldier for being out of regs, like they have an NCOIC that I should probably talk to that person first and allow them to correct it because they know that soldier. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I literally leave my hair natural so that I don't get in trouble. But I didn't say anything to her, and I said something to her NCOIC, and basically they told me that they had tried to counsel her and say stuff to her about it, and she literally went to IG and filed a complaint and said that it was racist. And stuff like that is where I'm like, wow, like, there's such a fine line. Like, there's such a fine line. And I guess you have to pick which side of the freaking line you're going to be on. And that's very difficult for me because, to me, the regulations of the military, like, there is a reason why we are that 1%. There's a reason. And the regulations are the way that the regulations are, whether they are correct or not. That helps to distinguish us from the rest of the world. And it helps to like show people that we are disciplined. And that's what the discipline of the military is like based on. And for me, I'm just like, I can think a reg is dumb all day long. I may think that something's dumb, but I'm never going to sit there and be like in front of my Joes and in front of anyone in the military, like, this regulation is just so dumb. Like, I'm not going to, because I feel like that's insulting, and the military means so much more to me than just a paycheck. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about, like, I wish I could go back to basic training just to see what it's like now. Because when I went, I know it had changed a lot. There's no way it hasn't changed a lot now. But I can't imagine going to basic training now, because there was a bunch of people when I went that were like crying. We had a girl lose her damn mind while we were there. This girl literally, like, they made her cut off. She had, I don't know the proper terminology of this, but where, I think it's called crochet braids or whatever, where they take and wrap the hair with fake hair. And you can do all sorts of crazy colors and stuff, and it's cool. But I remember when she got there, I was like, dang, like, they're gonna make you take that out. Like, they told her 50 times to take it out, and she wouldn't do it. So they told her, you can leave it in, but you gotta cut your hair short, because her hair was past her butt. Like, she could sit on it. Like, it was beautiful. Did you ever have a Section 8? No. No. I don't think so. But her hair was, like, beautiful. Are you talking about, like, someone who went to, when you say Section 8, are you talking about someone who went to, like, psych? Is that what you're talking about? But her hair was beautiful. She could, like, sit on it. Instead of having it cut by the people at the PX, she decided to have her friend cut it in the barracks. So she waited till the last minute to do this. And I was just thinking, like, we about to be here for a long time. Like, who's going to fix it when it starts to grow out and stuff? And The first time a drill sergeant said something to her, this girl just started crying. She started freaking out. She went back to the barracks, legit lost her mind. They caught her in a locker. She got in her locker at night. Someone who didn't make it. No, everybody made it. I'll get to that in a minute because the shit pisses me off so bad. She legitimately would pace all night in the bay. Like, she would just walk in circles, and her eyes, like, after this moment, like, her eyes were like crazy. Like, I was like, something's not right. Like, something's wrong. We told the drill sergeants. They were just like, obviously would yell at her. Clearly something's wrong with this girl. And we found her one night because they came in to count us in the middle of the night, couldn't find her. This girl was pissing in her locker instead of going to the bathroom. Like, she was so scared to do anything that she, like, would get up in her locker and pee. Like, she was going to the bathroom in her locker. Like, I noticed, I was like, she hasn't showered in, like, weeks. Like, that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, when's the last time anybody has seen her in the shower? And, yeah, but when it all came down to it, they finally asked her if she needed to go to psych. And she told them, yes, she did. She told them that her parents forced her to join the military. She told us that her parents forced her to join the military and that she didn't want to. And I can remember when we were, like, in processing, they ask you when you're there, like, has anyone forced it upon you to join the military? And she said yes. And I think they called her recruiter, and her recruiter was like, no. But that stuff actually happens. Like, this girl, like, she did tell a girl that she was friends with that she got forced to join, and it was because her parents just, like, felt like she needed some sort of, like, guidance in life. And you can't do that. You're not allowed to join if someone made you do it. But that was crazy. And then I hear other people's stories, and I'm like, okay, I really didn't have it that crazy. Because, like, people be trying to hang themselves with their bootlaces. People get put on, like, suicide watch. Basically, they'll take two of you. It kind of sucks for everybody because there's the people that are pulling fire guard, and then there's the two people that have to be on suicide watch. And basically, you just watch the person who's attempting to hurt themselves. Like, they're not allowed to have shoelaces. They're not allowed to have razors. I never had that, but there were a lot of other people at basic training who had people. And I think sometimes it was people thought, like, this isn't what I expected. So that's what they would go to, thinking it was going to get them sent home. Anytime that you go to military training where you are, I guess, is it TRADOC? If you do some stuff, like, you're going to be there for a long time. They ain't sending you home. They're going to send you to psych. It's like if you get hurt on deployment. My best friend, he got hurt on deployment. He just got back on Wednesday. He cannot return to the National Guard until they figure out what's wrong with him. He has to have surgery. He has to complete therapy for the surgery. He's going to be active duty for a long ass time. So, like, if you think that that's something that you're going to do, don't do it, because you ain't going home anytime soon. I wish I had actually, I do have it. I just don't know where it's at. The next time I go live, no, that's really mean. I shouldn't do it. But the girl that I was talking about that, like, was peeing in the locker, I got a picture of her, and you can see it in her eyes. Like, her eyes are just, like, in her picture. They basically make a yearbook for you. So there's a picture of her, and every single time that I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, that was that girl that, like, peed in her locker. I felt really bad for her. I don't even remember her name. But to answer the question about if we didn't if we had somebody fail out. Nobody fails out of basic training. She's smoking rocks. It's true. Nobody fails out of basic training at Fort Jackson, at least. I don't know if the Army is hard up for people. I don't know if they've been told. I mean, recruiters have a quota to get people there. Like, each state or whatever has a... I know. I hope she is too. Like, sometimes I'd be thinking about her and I'm like, are you... Like, I hope she went home and that, like, her life came together and she was like, thank God I'm not in the military. So I guess she's somebody who didn't make it to graduation. But people fail the PT test. They give you multiple PT tests while you're there. The final PT test, if you don't pass, you're not supposed to graduate. They give you a do-over to, like, give you a second opportunity to pass it. They passed people who failed. Send them on to AIT, and I guess at basic training, they're just like, get them out of our hair, send them to AIT, and the AIT people can figure it out if we're going to keep them in the Army or not. I know people who didn't pass their PT test that graduated from AIT. That shit right there is the exact reason why I get irritated. Like, I do get irritated because I'm like, what about the people like me? The people who are getting 280s, 300s, over 300s on their PT test. We out here busting our ass, doing the best that we can. Most of the people that you see who are maxing PT tests and stuff really care. Like, a lot of them really care about the military and take it seriously. So then to see that people can totally fail a PT test and still get given the same, I guess, benefits or acknowledgement as the people who are busting their asses, it's just a little shitty, in my opinion. And I'm like, but maybe it's because the Army's hard up and, like, we need those people. There's obviously a reason for it. My brain can't wrap my head around it. But for me, like, at drill weekend and stuff, I'm just out there, like, trying, like, I want everybody to pass their PT test. I want to know that if I have to go on deployment or something, that you had the discipline to pass that, like, you have the discipline needed to be able to accomplish whatever the mission is. Like, and if you're not willing to work on PT on your own, I feel like you need to seriously, like, reevaluate what exactly you're doing. Like, why are you... There's a lot of people who have the misconception, I guess, that, oh, well, I joined the military to be a paper pusher. I didn't join the military to learn how to use guns. I didn't join the military to learn or to be able to do 54 push-ups. Like, I joined the military because I wanted to sit on a computer and do the help desk all day. If that's what you thought, like, you have a problem, because that's not the way it is. I don't know how many times on my deployment I had people that I was best friends with that would be like, I didn't join the military for this. Like, we'd go on deployment and they'd be like, I didn't join the military to be deploying, blah, 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 because a lot of people think they're going to join the Guard and never deploy. That's weird to me. Like, when I found out I was deploying, I was just like, what? Like, I was seriously, like, thankful, because for me, I was like, I want to feel like I did something. I want to feel, like, accomplished, I guess. I think my military career in the National Guard would be complete if I was able to do, like, a stateside deployment, just because National Guard does those things. We have tornadoes and stuff, like, all the time where National Guard gets called to do that. But unfortunately, I don't fly helicopters, so I ain't ever going to help with any of that. But I wish. Like, you can apply for deployments, though. But it's just crazy. And I try to remember to keep my cool. I try to really remember that everyone's different. Everyone comes from a culture and a background that you don't know about. So their thought processes on things might be different. I fortunately grew up with a family that's very like, we are very patriotic, and it's crazy because I feel like my mentality, wow, that's hella rude. You probably shouldn't be on this channel then, bro. But I'm gonna just leave that as it is. I saw that there was a way for me to get to like censor comments on here, but there has to be an easier way to set this stuff up. Anyways, people put hate comments and stuff like that on basically everything military. It's sad. It's sad because, in my opinion, the reason you were able to get on this social networking site and leave a comment like that is because of the people who have served and protected your right to do that. So we're not going to give him any more. Yeah, he's smoking rocks too. It's probably a girl. Girls do that. They be petty. I feel like someone else asked me a question and I don't remember what it was. I got this cup from Afghanistan. Facts. But yeah, I don't know. My dogs are being extra. So yeah, if any of you guys have like questions or anything, like I always try to help as much as I can. Like last night I talked to a girl on Twitter for probably like an hour just answering questions about the military. I just wish there was a bigger group of people. I always want to join the military, but they didn't accept me because of some broken bones. Oh, thank you. Thanks for asking questions, guys. That stinks that you had broken bones and like couldn't join. I dated someone for 4 years and like I really thought that we were gonna get married, and like he couldn't join because they wanted him to revoke his dual citizenship. And like morally, he just couldn't do that. He just couldn't bring himself to do that. I slept 2 military. I definitely know that I'm not even gonna address it. Okay, so anyways, my ex like couldn't join because of that. So it's like, it's so shitty when people like want to join, like, and want to be involved in, like, I feel like it takes a super big person to want to be in the military. Thank you, Jeffrey. And they can't join because of something so little. And I'm like, but it's people like you that support the people like me who could join. That means so much. Like, that means so much. And to know that there's people that are here in the US that maybe wanted to join but couldn't, and that it's those people that are still going to be sitting here like instilling patriotism and like instilling values like that in our children and other people around us. And I feel like that's something that's like super lost in America. Like sometimes when I see stuff, I just literally like, it sounds super sad, but like I've watched the news before and just cried because I just think of how I grew up, and I think of my thought process of the US, and like 4th of July is my favorite holiday. And I literally like love, I don't know what it is, but I love that holiday. And I feel like I'm very proud to be like, oh yeah, I'm from the United States. Like when I deployed, I was with Spanish and Italian soldiers, and they obviously asked me where I was from, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be embarrassing, but I'm from Kansas. And they were like, oh, Dorothy. And I was like they called me Dorothy. But I was like, I don't know if it's just like my Midwestern upbringing. That's freaking awesome. I'm a July baby too. So my birthday's July 25th. I'm gonna have to remember and like tell you happy birthday. But yeah, I wish I could explain. Someday I'm gonna have the words to explain the way that I feel. And it's like, no matter how much terrible stuff happens in the US, I try to remind myself there is terrible stuff happening all over the world. And I am so proud to have what I have here. And I'm thankful that I grew up in the environment that I have here. Like, I'm so thankful for my parents, because I feel like it makes me stronger they have helped teach me ways that make me stronger to like get through when there are bad times in the US. You know what I mean? So anyways, someone asked what I was eating. I'm sorry, I'm just answering this question. So I made pancakes. It's taken me a long time to eat them because I'm like blabbing. I make Kodiak cakes. Okay guys, I'm gonna just tell you right now. I am getting ready to do summer shredding on my channel. If you guys don't know who Christian Guzman, oh my God. If you guys know Christian Guzman or you don't, you should definitely look him up on YouTube after you watch this video. And he does summer shredding every year and basically gets super jacked, like ripped. And usually he competes in a competition when it's over. So he has the company Alpha Elite Clothing and he owns his own gym in Texas. I want to go there like so bad. Like when I see YouTubers doing big things, I really want to support them because I know that if I was to do something amazing, I would hope that my following would support me. And I want to go. I need to see how much the tickets are. So if any of y'all live in Texas or if you live close and you want to like have a little get together and go, we should go. I want to go work out at this gym, but he is actually inventing his own competition. Yeah, the guy who lost all his gains. I'm really trying to figure out though if he does use like any type of like steroids or something, because I've been reading through all the comments. Like I follow his life so hard. I heard Arizona was fun. I follow his life so hard, you guys, that I follow like on Instagram, they have like, I guess it would be like trolls. Like they have Instagram sites that are like basically follow his life and they'll like leak text messages and stuff. And I follow all of that stuff just because, I don't know, I'm petty. Like I watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like I just think it's interesting, even though it doesn't matter at the end of the day, but it makes me think like maybe these people are being real. But I don't know. He's very inspirational. I watch it every summer. Every summer it like makes me go to the gym more. So basically, I've just been eating healthy for the past 4 weeks, and I've lost 4 pounds. I've been losing a pound a week. I've been waking up early, going to the gym at 5:30-ish in the morning, sometimes 6, but I want to wake up at 5. I did it in Afghanistan the whole time I was there, and like it felt great to wake up, get your workout in, do stuff, and then still have stuff to do. It's like the earlier you wake up, the more you can get done in a day, because I don't know how many days go by that I'm just like, I really like feel like there aren't enough hours in the day, and I don't want my summer to be like that at all. So anyways, I am going to participate in summer shredding this year because they're doing 4 categories. They're gonna do like bikini, men's physique. They're actually doing a physical competition in Texas. So I've never competed. I would like to, but also at the end of the day, like I know how unhealthy that it's so hard for me. It is for me too. I struggle. I'm going to make a video on how I've been doing it though, because like I have a process to wake up early. But I want to compete in it because they're doing a category just for YouTube. So I want to do it, and I want to document the whole process, because I literally can, I've done it before, so I know that I can take my body, like, right, I'm gonna just tell you guys right now. So that video where I weighed myself and I was 163 pounds, like, that shit shocked my heart. Like, I was just like, I'm height-wise in the Army, I can only weigh 160. So I'm always golden when it comes to getting taped. I had to get taped my first, like, 3 years in the Army. It was guaranteed taped every time. I never fail it. But to know that I went on deployment and came back, and I ended up getting myself down to 142 pounds. I am 5'7.5". I got myself down to 147, 142. What did I just say? Whatever I just said was correct. But being in the 140s, I had not weighed that since 5th grade, maybe. And it wasn't like I just like lost a bunch of weight. It was that my muscles were like banging. So if you look at my last fitness haul video on my channel, you'll see, like, I thought I was like fat in that video, and I don't know if it's just like body dysmorphia or what, but I was like always going to the gym like, okay, I just got to get this little bit of fat off. Like, I just got to get it off. And I looked at that video the other day and I was like, bitch, you are goals in this video. Like, so anyways, I am going on a vacation, and I'm not going to say where yet, because I'll just have you all know that I've never been out of the country besides deployment. So I'm going on this vacation, and summer shredding ends like a month before the vacation. So I figure I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna just do it. So basically, the reason why I'm going on this vacation is because I was supposed to be deploying, which I think I've said that in some videos. But unfortunately, because of medical shit, I'm not deploying with my unit. It's like, it honestly like really hurts me that I'm not going, because my soldiers and my section sergeant, those people are like my family. Even though I see them 1 weekend a month, like, I can't explain to you how all of us mesh with each other. We're so different, but at the same time, we all mesh really well together. Like, my Joes freaking call me Sergeant Mom. So I just am like, it hurts. It really hurts me. It hurts my feelings. I've cried about it like a lot, because it pisses me off that I'm not going with them, and I feel wrong for not going with them, and all of them except for two people, like the people in charge, have never deployed before. So that sucks. I'm like getting emotional thinking about it right now, because I just get pissed off. Like, it just pisses me off, and I've done everything that I know to do to be able to go. I've gotten doctor's notes. I've done everything there is to do, and I just kind of bit the bullet and was like, you know, like, I'm a religious person, and if I was meant to go, I would be going. I think that there's a reason why God doesn't feel that I should go. I don't know what it is yet. There's a reason. So I'm not going. So my friend was like, let's go out of the country. And I was like, I've always been that person that I'm like, I don't want to go. Until I've traveled to everywhere in the US, I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to buy a passport. I don't want to do this. But I'm going out of my comfort zone, and it's about to be lit. Like, my YouTube channel is about to be lit. Like, I'm taking everything. I think I'm going to buy a drone for it. It's just really exciting. But then I was like, well, what happens if they change their mind and I get to go on the deployment? Because I would literally be like, we can go on the vacation after. Like, bye. But for now, that's my plan. It's also happening after my 27th birthday. Getting old. I'm just kidding. That's not old. I don't really care. But I gotta get in shape beforehand, and I'm gonna share everything with you guys. I have some health stuff going on that eventually I'll probably make a video about, but I'm hoping that getting in shape solves the problem. I don't know. Anyways, somebody asked earlier, like 20 minutes ago, how I feel about the NFL protests or whatever. I don't want to piss people off. And I want you guys to remember that everyone's different. You're really young. Yeah, 26. It's just crazy because I feel like I don't feel like I'm about to be 27. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had in my head, I've thought to myself, when I turn 27, I would like to have like my first kid at 27. I just thought that that was like a good age, and I thought that I would at least be like engaged by now. I ain't gonna play. Like, there is nobody in sight. Like, I don't even like go on dates, but then I'm like, well, nobody my age really does the whole going on dates thing. I mean, I just spit. People in my generation suck. And I'm a lot happier worrying about myself. So, and I'm like, I have too much. It really kind of, I don't know if I did it to myself, whatever. Yeah, like, I own my own house. I have a decent job. I have a master's degree. It's very hard. It is very hard for me to find someone who it kind of has, I guess, the credentials that I'm looking for. And a lot of the people that I've dated, except for one, basically everyone that I've dated, thank you. Thank you, Nancy. I have allowed myself to overlook things that people bring to the table. Almost everybody that I have dated has children already. And to me, like, I don't care. Thank you, Jeffrey. I don't care about that because I was adopted, and like, I'm a very loving person. Until somebody does me wrong, like, I got love for everybody. And even if someone does me wrong, it's very difficult for me as a person to like write them off, I guess. I just care about people so much. And I have dated people with everywhere from 1 to 3 kids. I do not have a problem with people being parents at all. But I don't know what the deal is with men. They think that they can have children with somebody and still talk and still like be with the person that they had kids with and dating on the side. And I'm not okay with that. So I feel like it's like, for how successful I am and for what me too, for how successful I am and for what I bring to the table, it is very unfair for me to continue to like lower my standards for somebody. And I'm just to a point where it's like, one, I'm not trying to like find somebody. I feel like that's not my main goal right now. I can go out, like, the same way that I can go out and buy a house on my own is the same way that I can have a child on my own when I'm ready to have a child on my own. Like, if I don't have a man, like, it doesn't matter. I can make it happen however I want to make it happen. So I'm like, honestly, I would like to adopt. I would like to adopt a child. Even if I adopt 2 children, because I'm thankful that I was adopted. Like, and I feel like I owe that back. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but anyways, I don't even know how we got on to relationships, but yeah, life in the military is way easier when you're not tied down too. Step number one. Step number one. My dog's trying to say hi. You want to say hi? You're muddy. You got leaves on you. Say hello, Oliver. His name's Oliver, but I like be calling him other names. He's just being crazy. He has to be held all the time. I rescued him from the shelter. My lab, I paid too much money for him. Never again. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. Like, sometimes I think people forget. I think people forget adoption is an option. Like, I really think that there's so many other options now for having children that I think people just totally forget. And that's really sad. But also the whole adoption system, well, in Kansas anyways, is kind of messed up. They, like, once again, have a quota. And there has to be so many children in the system. So they be, like, trying to not let adopt kids. I don't know if they would let me, I mean, I'm sure it happens, to let me adopt a child as a single parent. I feel like being in the military, that would probably be super difficult. But I have such, like, my parents are so supportive. Like, my dogs have been at my mom and dad's. I hope so, Nancy. My parents, my dogs have been at my mom and dad's for, like, basically a month. Basically a month now. And my mom and dad, like, love my dogs as if they are their dog. Like, my mom cries every time that I come home to pick up the dogs on the weekend. Because she loves them so much. I actually, okay, fun fact. When I got back from deployment, I had a dog when I deployed. She lived obviously in the apartment with me in college. I graduated from college, and I love that you said, if you want a baby, you'll have one. You don't need a man. That is, like, it's, like, so true. That's so true. Like, at the end of the day, I definitely am not the type of female that, like, has to have a man to take care of me. I don't know. I'm just very independent, I guess. It would be nice. Like, it would be nice to have another person, but I would never have the requirement of a man needing to take care of me. But also, I would definitely never be with a man who needs me to take care of them. Like, I'm very independent, and I'm more than willing to help. But if I'm out here doing the thing, my role in your life is going to be to help lift you up and help you to be a better man. Like, I'm not here to work my butt off and pay all the bills while you, like, I don't know, sit at home and do nothing. Like, I'm not down with that. So, I had a puppy when I was in college, and she turned, like, 4 when I deployed, and obviously my parents took her to watch her. Never got her back. Those dudes are trying to make you look at shit. Yeah, they are. But I never got her back because my parents just couldn't. My parents couldn't give her back. They, like, fell in love with her. And so now she's like a family dog. But I still see her, like, on the weekends. Like, I love her so much. And she's still my dog, but, like, my mom needed her. So now I have two boy dogs. They're the first boy dogs in the family. That's probably why they're so loved. And who can't love a chocolate lab? My lab's the best dog, like, I've ever had. Like, so smart and such a good dog. And he loves children. And even though he's not around children, he loves them. But I've tried to answer this question 20 times. I'm answering it. Don't let me drift off. Somebody asked how I feel about the NFL protests. Everybody is different, and everyone has their own opinion of it. And I realize that I'm mixed, and people probably expect me to have a certain opinion about it, but my opinion on it is that at first, I can honestly tell you that at first I felt that it was very disrespectful. But then I, in my mind, like, thought about it, and I, like, talked to God about it, and I completely understand where people, like, are coming from. I understand why it's being done. I understand all of that. But I know that for me, I will never agree with it simply based off of, I don't know how to explain this. I will never completely agree with it simply based off of my opinion that there's probably a better way to make a statement. I just think there's a better way. And I feel, and I see lots of veterans say, like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. And I'm like, for me personally, like, if you're in the military, like actively in the military, and you're saying that it doesn't, that doesn't bother me, in my opinion, you don't care. In my opinion, you're probably somebody, and I'm not going to say everybody's like this, but more than likely, if I was to come and just be an outsider looking at your military career, you probably also don't care about any of the military regulations. You probably voice your opinion and say that everything is stupid. Like, you probably don't have, like, the mentality of just suck it up and bear it. I don't know if it's just because, like, I think people would look at me and say, like, how could you say something? Like, how could you think that way or whatever? Like, I grew up in a community of people that I was, like, one of the only brown people, like, besides my brother. Like, we were the only, there was maybe, like, 2 other brown kids. So I'm like, I totally understand, like, discrimination, and, like, I totally get, like, being treated differently, and I've been there. Like, I've watched my mom cry hours on end because of how shitty me and my brother were treated growing up. We were treated so badly that people asked my dad to write a book about it. My dad was a state representative, and, like, yeah, he got asked to write a book about it. But for me, 2 wrongs don't make a right, and there's a better way. I just think there's a better way. But to each their own. I also am the type of person that's like, hey, if that's what you want to do, do you, boo. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean I agree with it, you know? I know that opinion would probably annoy my dad. Because he would be like, what? I'm like, I don't know. I think I have a really open mind just from all of the stuff that I've encountered and seen. I don't really know. I'm finally eating my freaking omelet thing that I made. But yeah, do you guys want to see like the cut and stuff on my channel? Do you want to see my transformation videos? Like, I'm literally going to take you guys to the gym with me, show you everything that I'm eating, what supplements I'm taking, and what I'm doing every single day. I don't know how often. Okay, I will definitely do it then, Nancy. Just because you said yes, I'm going to do it. I don't know how much I should upload. That's the other thing I wanted to ask you guys. Like, I've been meaning to do this live for forever to ask you guys, but how often do you guys think that I should be uploading? Because I have watched thousands of hours. I'm not even kidding, you guys. Upload as much as you want. Okay. Because I've watched thousands of hours. I watch Roberto Blake. I don't know if you guys know him, but if you're a content creator, he's a great person to watch to, like, learn about YouTube and, like, how it works and stuff. And if you guys follow me on Snapchat or Instagram or anything, I did say, so YouTube took away my ability to make, all right, I'm definitely going to do that. YouTube took away my ability to make money off of my videos. I really could care less. Like, I don't care. What I care about is that I felt, sure, take us through the process. Wouldn't mind seeing your friend with. Oh, my friend at the gym, we kind of look like sisters. Is that who you're talking about? I was like, who has glasses? That's funny. I'm gonna have to tell her. Anyways, YouTube kind of did me dirty. So I meet the criteria for making money on my videos, like monetizing. And YouTube says that I don't. But when I go in and look at my analytics, I meet the criteria I'm over it by like 300 hours. So honestly, I think it's because and I don't want to say that they're totally shady, but I honestly think it's because I don't have like 10,000 subscribers, and I've been on YouTube since 2011. Like, since 2011, I've been on here, but it's because of my inconsistency. This is the first year of my life that I've been like consistent with everything. So, and I'm really trying because like I know that you guys like actually watch me. And I guess before I was like, nobody watches me, so whatever. But like, I love making videos. Even like 0 people could watch them and I'd still be uploading because I enjoy it. So that's the only thing that bothered me about it, was like, how are you going to tell me that I didn't meet the criteria? But I did. But I'm like, I can honestly say YouTube was giving me like enough money to pay my, thank you, Nancy. I was able to pay my internet bill with the money that I was getting from YouTube, which was like super nice. Like, it was just nice to know like I'm doing a hobby that's paying for that. Which one? Okay, I'm gonna just tell you, which one went viral, Nancy? Oh yeah, because so I can't see the views. Like, I can't see an accurate count of how many people are watching me either. So like the videos that I've been uploading on my end just show that like 10 people are watching them. I've downloaded like every app that I can download. Thank you. And it won't show me an accurate representation, which is very strange to me. So yeah, I don't know. I was like, I did make that headband video though. I haven't done a DIY in forever because like I never have time. Dang, that's crazy. I should do more DIY videos. I don't have anything to DIY. I don't have anything that I want to make, I guess. Plus, I'm like over the whole beauty guru thing. Everyone starts out as a beauty guru on YouTube. If you're a girl, 9 times out of 10, I bet you're going to start out on YouTube as a beauty guru. And then shortly after, you're going to be like, I'm not that good at makeup. You should do some reviews. Yeah, okay, so I'm actually Pinterest. I'm actually gonna start doing Starbucks, like Starbucks hacks. Not like how to get Starbucks for cheaper or whatever, because I know that like a lot of people do that, but Starbucks like health hacks, because there's a lot of drinks on Pinterest that you can get from Starbucks with like half the calories. And I was like, okay, I'm on a Starbucks like binger right now, but also I want to like start making the Starbucks drinks at home, because I have a Ninja blender and like obviously those are super expensive, and I can literally go buy the stuff that Starbucks uses at the grocery store. Like, I went and bought their passion tea. All they do for their pink drink at Starbucks is passion tea and almond milk. That's legit all it is. So I've been like making those at home. That's like a freaking almost $4 drink. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. My Twitter name, I have to get up and find a charger for my phone because it's about to die. My Twitter name is I, a capital I, and then the rest of it's lowercase, have one, the number one, and then the word thing, and then the number two, and then the word say. It's like that song because my name is Shantae. So when I made my Twitter handle, I wanted people to know how to pronounce my name. So my Twitter name is I have one thing to say. Because that song is like, I have one thing to say. Sachet, Shantae. It's, I think RuPaul sings it or something. I don't know. It's drag. I know that. I have to plug in my phone, so I'm probably about to be sitting on the floor. Yeah, I get a lot of, I have a whole album on print, what are they called on Pinterest? Like a whole thing, a whole category thing on Pinterest for YouTube video ideas. But I keep it private just because I like didn't want people to see that I got my ideas off of Pinterest. But I'm like, I guess it doesn't matter. No, I really honestly didn't think that anybody followed me. I'm plugging you guys in. I thought that nobody followed me on Pinterest. I was mistaken because people been going up to my mom. People been going up to my mom and being like, yeah, your daughter has like the best home Pinterest board ever. And I'm like, people really follow me on there? But I originally, when I first started like researching how to gain a following on YouTube, they actually recommend that people use, this is a tip if you want to be a YouTuber. They recommend that people use Pinterest to get people to drive people to their channel. Because 9 times out of 10 when people are pinning stuff on Pinterest, if they actually like click it and want to make something, they would like to see a video over it. So they always say like, use Pinterest because it's free and it's basically free advertising for your channel. I tried to do it, but it was a lot of work. Like, to make the picture for Pinterest is so much work. Like, you guys, when I tell you making a YouTube video is so much work, it's not even, like, sometimes the thought, like, I love making content, but I panic at the thought of the thumbnail. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my thumbnails are all over the place. Legit, like, they're all over the place. And I've been trying to get, like, a generic theme, I guess. I want my thumbnails to, like, go with each other. And I just can't do it. Every time that I make a thumbnail, it's different. Like, the last thumbnail that I made was straight garbage. And I'm like, all I care about is the filming and the filming quality. But my thumbnails suck. I need to do better. But I was like, I just can't. It takes so long to take a good picture. So on my army videos, I've just been taking other people's pixtures and using them. There's this website. Okay, if you guys are like an Instagram person, there's this website called Pexels, P-E-X-E-L-S. And basically, if you have a day where you have nothing that you can post, you get on there, you can type in whatever you want. Like, say I wanted a picture of a cat. You could type in cat. Or like, I wanted a picture of a black cat. Yeah, I think a lot of people have bad thumbnails. But I feel like the bigger you get, the more it doesn't matter. Like, people are going to watch it anyways. But you can like type in a picture, any picture that you want, and download it for free. And all of those photos are royalty free. So you're allowed to use them because, okay, I'm gonna just talk about this because I wanted to make a YouTube video about it, but I didn't want like, and I know I shouldn't care what people think, but I really didn't want other military YouTubers to feel offended by this or anything. But I do not think that people realize what they're doing as a military YouTuber. Hear me out. The girl that Kid Thunder, he made a video about that girl in the Air Force. She like had this misconception that, oh, I can just move to LA and get super popular and become a full-time YouTuber. Okay, yeah, like that does work for some people, but it's literally luck. Like, and working your ass off. Like, you literally have to work your butt off to gain a huge following on here. So, I feel like the YouTuber Missy Lynn, I don't know if you guys know her, she's a beauty guru. She kind of gave girls in the military on YouTube the perception, she didn't do this herself, it's just people are ignorant and really think that this girl just magically gained all these followers without having to work for it. She kind of gave people in the military like the misconception that it can be done, and that it can be done quickly. They all clickbait their way to the fame. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you, and I want to make a video about this, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not trying to bash anybody, but I feel like nobody knows this, and I know it. I've been on here since 2011. Missy Lynn was in the Air Force. She would make YouTube videos with her uniform on. I don't know that military YouTubers know this, but what happens when you fall under a chain of command that doesn't like you being in uniform? Because perception is reality in the military, and all it takes is for them to be like, well, you need to like get rid of this content because you're in uniform and you're giving people the perception that the Army thinks this way, or that people like, I have videos of me in uniform on deployment, but I don't know that I ever have my top on. Like, I just have like the green shirt underneath, which I don't see a problem in that, because I mean, how are they gonna, they can't look at a picture of you in your green shirt and be like, I mean, they could, but it's less likely. Missy Lynn, when she made it on YouTube, she was still in the Air Force. She was working full-time for the Air Force, and the Air Force told her, you will take down all of your pictures and videos of you in uniform. Any video that had her in uniform, she had to take it down. Yeah, that's my dress uniform, I think, is like the only one. Which, videos like that, like the vlog ones, I'm just like, But then I'm like, I'm not making money off YouTube, so if they asked me to take it down, I would just do it. But I really try to be aware of that. Like, I see people like purposely put on like their Army PTs to film in. Like, just so that people know that they're actually in the Army. And I'm like, what are you gonna do if the Army tells you, we don't want this content up because it gives people the perception that this is our thought process? Even if, like, if you say, like, this is my opinion and not the Army's, like, they can still do that. Because Missy Lynn, like, would say that in her videos. I've watched her for a long freaking time, and she would say that, and the Air Force still made her take it down. So I'm like, what are all these YouTubers gonna do where every video on their channel is that? Like, that's crazy to me. Not only that, but the whole Missy Lynn getting famous on YouTube and stuff, she actually, I would love to know what, I have to go now, I have a birthday party to go to. Okay, you have a great day too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. So she actually, I don't know what they do, but I seriously feel like people hire, I think a lot of people do grow their following organically, but I think that a lot of people pay for services to help them grow. Missy Lynn, when she first started, I didn't even subscribe to her because she pissed me off. She came on my channel, and she commented on one of my military videos, and she was like, "Hey girl, I'm in the military too. I make YouTube videos. You should totally watch me." Cool. I ignored it. Because I just don't, when people are like, check out my channel, it's the way you go about it, I guess, that will like make my decision of whether I'm going to check you out or not. So, because she didn't say anything about like my video. Like, it showed me that she didn't watch my video, but she just commented on it to try and get me to follow her. So, I noticed that she commented the exact same comment on videos of mine for like a month straight. Well, it finally suckered me into checking her out. And I looked at her, yeah, it's shady as fuck. So I looked at her channel, saw that she had like 38,000 followers, and I started watching her videos, and I was like, oh, just another girl who thinks she can do makeup and she's not all that. I was like, whatever, like, I thought about following her simply because she was black, and I was like, there aren't a lot of girls who do makeup that are close in skin tone to me. So I watched that one video, and you all know, once you watch somebody's video, YouTube like recommends that channel to you all the time. Well, I steady entered the NYX Face Awards for a long time. She entered a video in the NYX Face Awards on private. Like, nobody could see it except for the NYX Face Awards people, which I thought was weird. I was like, how can you get entered into a competition and you don't even have the video live for everybody to see it? And then she ended up winning the NYX Face Awards. And I remember like watching the grand finale of it because I was like, dang, this would be cool if a military YouTuber like won it. She won. And she ended up like winning, which I was shocked. Like, I did not think, there was somebody else that did a lot better and I thought that they would win, but she won. And then I kind of was like, I wonder if NYX just did it because they wanted to show that they support women of color, because in the beauty industry, shit like that matters. And she ended up, like, the moment she could get out of her job with the Air Force, she got out. Like, it ended up being her following kept asking, like, we don't see you in uniform anymore, blah, 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 blah. She made a whole video about how she had to take her content down because the Air Force asked her to. And her videos were not shady at all. Like, they weren't bad. She never, like, talked poorly about the military, nothing. And they still asked her to take them down. And she ended up getting out of the Air Force. Like, she literally barely talks about it. Well, she doesn't talk about it ever. So I think a lot of people, like, don't know that she actually was a military YouTuber. But now she has, like, 2 channels and, like, millions of followers on here. And her story, like, me knowing that information about her, like, trolling on my channel, I'm like, first of all, you clearly had to have either she stayed her ass up every night commenting on people's videos to get them to come to her channel, or she was paying a company that was doing, because there are companies that you can like pay and they will basically get on people's YouTube channel and comment on, and it's like against the rules. Like, if YouTube finds out, I think you get flagged. So I don't know. To me, her following is totally fake as fuck. Only because of that. Yeah, she had to have paid people. But I'm like, to see other military YouTubers that think that her life is like possible in a legitimate way of like living is what's crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people just have the misconception of, oh, let me just make it on social media. And then it's like, social media may not be here. Like, a site that you get popular on may not be popular after so many years. And then what happens when you have to start over? Like, I don't know. Part of me wants to make a video because I'm like, you totally trolled my channel. Like, this girl trolled my Facebook channel. Yeah, MySpace, dead AF. I don't even remember when that fell off. Like, I used to be super into MySpace. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy that I've been on YouTube for such a long time, in my opinion, and to see that, like, I'm so thankful. Yeah, Facebook, that's true. I'm so thankful for, like, making it as far as I have organically, and I totally haven't had to pay people to do shit for my channel. And I may be small, but I'm like, I feel like I would rather be small and have people who care about what I'm posting rather than being huge and know that I paid somebody to make me, like, to make me look awesome. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. The 9 to 5 thing, like, I tell my mom all the time, like, my life would be so much easier if I did not have to work a 9 to 5 job. Like, if I could work from home, it would be freaking awesome. But I'm like, I like my job, my full-time job in the Guard, but I also have a civilian job. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a civilian job, and working full-time for the Guard is just, like, so much better. Like, they're so understanding. I don't have to worry about, like, if something comes up in my family or something, or say I have a doctor's appointment, I don't have to worry that I'm, like, gonna lose my job. And then I was like, well, I've never worked a civilian job that's, like, salary. So sometimes I wonder if, like, working salary would be different. I don't know. I also have been considering, like, lately because I'm gonna do OCS. I've mentioned it. I just haven't stated, like, when I'm going to start, because I don't want to tell you guys and then not happen for some weird reason. But I've been considering doing it, and then at the end being like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go active duty. But then I thought about it, and I was like, wait, like, what if I got stationed in, like, Germany or something? And what would I do with my dogs? Like, my little dog could obviously ride in the plane over there, but, like, what the frick is Rain gonna do? Like, my big-ass dog. And I don't know. I'm like, that type of thing worries me, because I know that they probably wouldn't see a pet as, like, family. And I wouldn't be okay with that. And then I'm like, no, I'm really trying to be AGR. Like, I want to be AGR so bad. And I want to make a video about that, because I talked about it with someone yesterday, and she was like, what's AGR? And I'm like, there's so much about the National Guard that I wish I could have known before I joined. So AGR, I'm going to make a video about this, but I am ADOS right now, which stands for additional duty, or active duty operational support, I think. So I work full-time for the National Guard on orders, but basically your orders can be cut at any time. It's temporary. So, like, if all of a sudden something comes up and they don't have the funding, you're just out. Like, you're just done, and then when they need you again, they'll call you if you did a good job. But my orders usually run from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And then every year, like, in September, you get, like, in October, you get, like, a couple weeks off because they're figuring out the budget. So you can only do it for so long, and then I think you have to have a waiver. But basically, you're active duty. You can't retire on ADOS orders, but I've been sitting here racking up active duty time for, like, 3 years now. So that's awesome, but the purpose of it is to eventually get you trained up, and then you can become AGR. AGR stands for Active Guard Reserve, and the reserves in the National Guard, well, active duty can do it too, I think, if you're, like, trying to get out of being active duty, and you join either the reserves or the Guard. You can do the AGR program, which is basically a 3-year contract, and you work full-time for the military. So since I'm National Guard, if I went AGR, I would still be AGR in the state of Kansas, and it's just full-time support for the state of Kansas. It's very hard to get into because it's dependent on, like, your MOS and your years of service. You have to do a board to get the job, which is, like, nerve-wracking. That's what I had the job interview for, and This is like, my luck in the Guard has been so bad that sometimes it's shocking to me that I can like literally sit down and be so passionate about the National Guard and like really try to tell people like, oh, you should totally join. It's the greatest thing ever. Because I've had some shit happen. Like that job interview that you guys saw me interviewing for, I won the board, got the job, and then 2 weeks later they up and decided something was wrong with the board. It wasn't fair. And they made us re-interview for it. Well, they were like desperate for somebody. I didn't have the MOS. Like I was going to have to reclass and go to school for it. And the next time they interviewed, they ended up actually hiring somebody who already had the MOS. So super shitty. Everyone told me that I needed to go file an IG complaint, but like that, I can't do it. I'm not trying to throw my whole career in the trash because of one job interview. And I also tried to tell myself once again, if God wanted me to have worked that position, it would have worked. It would have worked out, and it didn't. And there's a reason, and I think it's because there's something much better for me ahead. So I've been trying for like 7 years now to get an AGR job. That's how difficult it is. And like they'll flat out, I have friends who have flat out been told, like they've interviewed their third time and they've flat out been told, well, you just need to like, you need to interview a couple more times and then you'll get a job. Like if these type of things were being said in the civilian world, this company would be done. Like EO complaints everywhere. So it's just, it is what it is. I'm very thankful though for the job that I do have. The people that I work with are freaking awesome. Like I like all of them. And they're all older. So like I'm learning a lot, like so much. I actually work in the G3 shop for my state. So I'm learning a lot about budgeting. So I want to go to OCS and I want to be a finance officer. It is definitely less drama with older people. Like there's drama, but like it's drama that doesn't really concern me, I guess. And when people are dealing with the people who control the money for the state, like if you're working with people who control the money, people tend not to mess with those people. They tend not to mess with them because otherwise they won't get ammo for the range, etc. My dog's getting a drink like right next to me. Yeah, it's less drama. But anyways, you guys, I just realized that I've been on here for like a really long time. I am going to be uploading Military Monday tonight, so that'll go live tomorrow. Honestly, okay, so this is my plan for my channel before I hop off of here, but I'm going to be doing fitness and military videos, I think, on my channel, and I would like to start doing every other day, just because there's so much military stuff that I want to talk about on my channel, and I just having Military Monday is kind of hard. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm like, obviously my workouts and stuff, I tailor them so that I can do better on my PT test too. So if that's like, I think that that's interesting. I hope that you guys think that that's interesting. And that's really what I'm going to start doing. Thanks. I think so. I think vlogging is so much better. Like, I think vlogging is way better than just sitting down and filming something. Like, on occasion, that's necessary. Like, this next Military Monday video I'm doing, it was necessary. But I like vlogging my life a lot better. So, yeah. And then, obviously, when I go on my vacation, we gonna be partying. And you guys, I want you guys to feel like like you're there with me. Like, yeah, vlogging is totally more relatable. I really think I'm going to get a drone, you guys, so that, like, this trip is just epic. Even if I don't get a drone, though, I already looked on YouTube, and there's, like, Creative Commons videos for where I'm going, so I can probably just, like, jack some of their footage and, like, throw it in.
obviously give them credit, but yeah, I just want you guys to feel like you're with me every step of the way. And also, how often would you guys prefer a live video? Some of my friends be live videoing like every day, and this is my first time. And I'm like so thankful that there's like been a steady amount of people actually watching, because I figured nobody would care. Okay, I'll start like, okay, basically what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to upload every other day and then live the other days, at least a couple of times a week, so that we can have some like one-on-one time. So anyways, every Sunday would be good too. I might do that. And then sometimes you'll probably catch me in a military uniform, especially if I'm at like drill weekend or something. So I am about to go. Thank you guys for watching. I love each and every one of you, and thanks for asking me questions. I hope your guys' Sunday goes really good, and I'll talk to you guys soon.